Nice to meet you, Charlie.
And you too, Billy. Welcome.
Okay, and I was just wondering whether you'd tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got into gardening in the first place.
Well, it's quite simple how I got into gardening. My wife Frances was pregnant on the first of our 6 children, and when I came home from the Cork Examiner, as it was then, she was just behind me here on that little roundy structure, pickaxing a pat for the line. And my neighbour next door came out and she read and spelled me. How dare I allow my pregnant wife to have to dig her own path for the washing line? And of course, she was quite right. So I took the pickaxe and I continued, Billy, and that really was the start of it. And there was nothing here at the time. It was, I'm going back now 45, 47 years. It was a time when you got a house and nothing really. There was no hard landscaping or anything at that time. Now it's all a bit different and things are much, much better. But I began gardening at that stage. I built this round structure behind me where this tree is called the wedding cake tree, because it has these wonderful layers, you know. And before the wedding cake tree went in, somebody gave me a load of red dahlias. I'll always remember it. And I stuck in the red dahlias, weeds, stones, the lot, and they grew like Billy O, and I was hooked forevermore after that. So there you are. I was a printer within the Irish Examiner group of newspapers, and I spent 42 years printing newspapers, and then I retired after that. But before retiring, I was about 10 years, I was double jobbing, Billy. I was writing little articles for the Examiner, and people liked them, and I got a good response back. So the Examiner in 1995 said to me, well, would you like to retire, and we will look after you and we will maintain you as our gardening correspondent. So I said, I'll be absolutely delighted. And it's continued from then, and I've had a wonderful life, all my life, both printing and since I left printing. And there's a great standard of living here in Cork. A wonderful climate, wonderful people, a wonderful area, may I add, here in Mayfield. And I could well afford to leave it, but no way shall I leave, in a box maybe, but I'm here to stay, Billy. And there you are. So there you are.
That's absolutely brilliant.
And I met you about, how many years ago?
About 6 years ago, I suppose.
I thought it was a bit longer, mind you. And
6 years ago, yes.
you came up with an idea that I could use, and I decided I would take some of your famous Geeup, and it was a bit dodgy, you know, because there are so many of these on the market, you know. So, but when I opened it, and there it was, brown and rich and crumbly, no smell, no straw, no creepy crawlies, no stones, no weeds, nothing. And I've been using it ever since, really. I found it excellent as a soil improver, wonderful for mulching, great for basket work of all things. I mix it with my own compost. I put in the Geeup, and I get the likes of the begonias you saw a while ago, those red begonias, and they're from Australia. Now the strain comes from Australia. They're not out that long. Begonia bonfire, that's what they're called. And they've made huge baskets this year. And they've come on wonderful. But all the plants have come on wonderful. Hostas in particular will respond to applications either mixed with the compost or as a mulch on top. And I think mulching must be considered by all gardeners in the coming years, because this year in particular in Cork has been a very, very dry season. You hear on television of areas around the country which had a very bad July. We didn't have a bad July down here. It's been very dry, and unless you mulch and cover the soil after it has become wet, no use putting on a mulch on dry soil, as you well know yourself. So you just wait for the rains to come, and they will come as they've come last autumn and winter. And then when the soil is fine and wet, mulch with Geeup or any other compostable material, and this holds in the moisture, and you'll get very good results. And I've got great results over the years. So thank you for that. I'll continue to use it, and I'll continue to kind of promote it around with my friends and my neighbours and such. But it would be quite nice, yeah. It's great stuff. Great stuff. Well done.